Good evening and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Fort Wayne Community School Board of Trustees. We can begin each meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we'll have a roll call of members. Glenna?
Good evening, Glenna Yale from the 2nd District.
Tom Smith from the 3rd District.
Maria Norman, member at large.
Ann Duff, member at large.
And I'm Julie Hollingsworth, elected from District 1, and to my far left is Janet Doherty, the clerk of the board. Good evening. And sitting in for our superintendent is Chief Financial Officer Kathy Friend. Good evening.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. So we don't have any awards or recognitions tonight, so we move on to our consent agenda. And these are things that come to us every meeting. They include the minutes from the previous meeting on June 11th, which board members have reviewed. They also include vouchers and payroll, vouchers for the period ending June 25th, and payroll for the period ending May 25th, which also board members have seen. And vouchers, of course, are kept on file for like 7 years for any of the members of the public that want to view them. And then there's the personnel report. And Kathy, was there anything you wanted to highlight in the personnel report?
Not tonight, no.
Okay. So, if we have a motion and a second for the consent agenda?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Maria. Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, now we have several contracts. And you know what? Maybe if there are no objections, we can just take the first 3 all together because they all deal with the cafeteria.
Four.
Oh, the first 4? Oh, yeah, the first 4. Oh, thank you. Even better. So the first 4 items of new business, first we have a food recommendation, and there were this is for the food for next school year from 18 to 19, and there were 10 bidders, information sent to 10 bidders, and 3 responded, and you can see on here that the food is split between Commercial Food Service, Gordon Food Service, and Stance Food Service for a total of $4,510,008.76. for next year. And then we have beverages, 6 information sent to 6 prospective bidders with 3 responding. The same 3 have been accepted actually for bottled water and juice, and that's a total of $552,179.40. And then we have the cafeteria disposables. These are plastic, aluminum, and pressed paperboard containers that are used to package food at the Nutrition Process Center. And there was information mailed to 15 prospective bidders with 3 responding. The Acorn Paper and Restaurant Supply Company, Pathway Solutions, Inc., Webco Packaging, and those totals are $197,615.20. And then we have the milk bid. And you know what? I think we should take that one separate because that's an extension of a contract. That's why I wanted to. Okay. So we have the food bid, the beverage, which include bottles, water, and juice, and then the cafeteria disposables. Do we have a motion and a second?
Move approval.
Second.
Thanks, Maria. Thanks, Ann. And Director of Nutrition Services, Candace Hager, is here to answer any questions. Just one question, Candace. I mean, how do these bids kind of compare with last year's?
They're pretty similar to last year's. We always expect a 3 to 5% increase because of cost of goods.
And is that about what you saw
It's about what we saw.
in that range? Okay. Okay.
I saw in the notes that some items were withdrawn from the bid due to menu changes and things like that. Was there anything that, like, you really wanted that had to be omitted due to cost, or?
No.
Okay.
No. We are trying to go to whole muscle meats this year, and so some of those items that were omitted were not whole muscle, and we went to the whole muscle part.
Now, that's a phrase that's new to me.
Yes, what is a whole muscle?
Oh, so learning through. So what's
Okay,
a whole
so
muscle
your
meat?
whole muscle will mean a solid chicken breast rather than pieces, parts glued together.
Gotcha.
Your McDonald's chicken nuggets are pieces, parts glued together.
Exactly. Okay. That's
And
good
so
to know.
we're just trying to step up the quality a bit.
Nice. And there's no federal regulation or state regulation telling us to do that?
No,
We're doing that on our own?
no,
Okay,
we are doing
great.
that on our own.
Great. Awesome. Huh. Interesting.
I did have a question about our cafeteria disposables. It didn't mention that any of them were recyclable, biodegradable. Is there any, in terms of cost, would that just take us way out of?
We did look at some products that were biodegradable and recyclable. Unfortunately, they're half again as expensive.
Right.
And we might get there. Baby steps. We're
Right.
trying to increase quality and sustainability at all times, but didn't feel like with including high schools in CEP this year that I wanted to take that big leap also and
Right.
have two financial things that I had to really look at to make sure that we stayed viable.
Okay, thanks.
And then, how many students are we giving the free breakfasts to?
It is open to all students, all student body.
All
We're
grades?
not sure at this point how much participation we're going to be getting from high schools for breakfast, but we do expect that our lunch participation will increase. I would say we are feeding about 26,000 students every day, breakfast and lunch.
And then a part of that is paid for by a federal grant, is that correct?
It is all paid for by federal grant.
Okay, so
That's
it's
what
not
CEP
coming out of our
Yeah,
budget.
that's
is
what
I'm trying to
CEP
get at.
is all about.
Okay.
Candace, I
Yes.
know there's a trend going on where people are switching from plastic straws to paper straws. Have you been taking a look at that? And I have no idea how many plastic straws we use, but it's obviously a
Actually,
conservative thing.
the spork packet that we have has a small plastic straw in, like a coffee stirrer
Oh, okay.
kind of plastic straw.
Hate to hear that.
Beyond that, I haven't looked at paper versus plastic.
Okay.
If you all remember years back, we had paper straws, and after the first suck, they all just kind of disintegrated. I'm sorry if I'm speaking
We understand what you mean.
But, so, I think paper straws really have to upgrade quite a bit before
would
we
hope
can
so.
get to them.
There evidently is a paper straw company here in Fort Wayne, isn't there? Yeah. I'm not sure if I tried their product or not, but,
But as far as large straws, we don't use large straws at all.
Okay,
okay.
thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, all those in favor of approving the 3 bids, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. And now we have the recommendation to extend the milk bid that was opened in June of 2017. The bid is awarded based on the 5 categories of half-pint containers, which include 1% white, skim, fat-free chocolate, fat-free strawberry, and fat-free vanilla milk. The company is Prairie Farms here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, for a total of $1.1 million. Half pints of milk estimated at $5.7 million annually, represent about 90% of the total dairy purchases for the 64 locations, which include our schools and 6 private schools. Other dairy items such as yogurt, cottage cheese, and larger units of milk will also be provided and are in addition to this price above. Indiana purchasing law allows for the extension of an awarded bid contract subject to the agreement of the vendor and the purchasing agency. So Fort Wayne Community Schools included language last year in the 17 milk bid specifications, which referred to this provision. And Candace is still available to answer any questions. So do we have a motion and a second?
Move for approval?
Second.
Thanks, Glenna. Thanks, Maria. Any questions on this one?
How does this compare to last year's, Candace? This is similar, isn't it?
Our pricing will remain the same as last year by extending this bid. The one thing that you should note is that year prior to last year, we were on an escalator, and that's a calculator that they do according to the milk market. And we were paying 24 to 25 cents a half pint. Last year, we went on a fixed product, and we were paying 19 cents. And I am tickled to death we get to stay there.
Great.
Very good.
Is this available to extend again, or was it just one extension allowed?
I think it's 3 years, wasn't it? I think we asked for the
okay.
opportunity to extend for 3 years, so
Okay.
we may have another year.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we have a property purchase. And you all have a map that goes along with this, that it's recommended that the board authorize the purchase of the following property located near Price Elementary. The address is 2105 Stoop Avenue. There were 2 appraisals done of the property at $79,000 each, and the purchase price is $77,000. The current school site for Price Elementary is below the state minimum acreage recommended of 10 acres. With this purchase, we will still be short 1.67 acres. Purchase of the property in this block will allow flexibility for the school to create a parent pickup lane, because this pretty much completes the block for us, right, to own that. The property will be funded by Capital Projects Fund allocation for land acquisition and development. Questions will be addressed by Director of Facilities, Darren Hess. So do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Maria. So Darren, house on this property?
Yes, there's currently a house on this property.
So what's the fate of the
Well,
house?
currently, we do not have anything funded for the parent pickup lane. We've just been picking up properties through the last
Right.
probably 5 to 7 years now. So we will look at the house and assess the condition of it and possibly rent it until
Okay.
a time where we can demolish it in place of the parent pickup lane.
Okay.
So we have to assess it. It's about a 2.5 or 3 out of 10, so it needs some work.
Do we give teachers and staff priority rental?
The last time we offered it in Peachtree and made sure they were aware
Oh,
of it.
okay, nice.
Correct. And the other house that is currently on that block, the Huffman Street, we've got a current tenant in there that's been a long-term tenant that's worked out great for us. So
Oh, great.
hopefully possibly do the same for this home.
Okay.
Is that the 2022?
Yeah. Yeah, 2022 Huffman Boulevard. We're currently, for about, I think, 3 years now, renting that.
Oh, cool.
Julie, I want to just verify with Darren, if you don't mind. The purchase price on the board rec is lower than the 2 appraisals. Is that correct?
That's
Yeah, I
correct.
noticed
And
that
that's
too on
That's
the,
allowed?
yeah.
Yeah, it's the average of the 2 or lower, so it can't be higher than the
Okay,
appraised.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think think on some of the information we were sent out, it actually stated
Yeah.
Stated the
that the
opposite.
purchase price was higher, and I wondered about that
Yeah,
too, so.
that's what I
yeah,
wanted to correct on
So,
there.
yeah, so it actually is lower than the appraisal.
Yeah,
We're paying 77.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Darren. Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, now we have the Northrop Security Camera System Replacement. It's recommended that the board approve the following construction contract for the replacement of the security camera system at Northrop High School from Presidio for $206,161.03. The project consists of the replacement and upgrade of the existing analog security camera system with a new Internet Protocol security camera system in conjunction with the renovation project at Northrop High School. The new IP security cameras will integrate with the new Tyco Integrated Technology Intrusion Detection and Access Control Security System. In addition, the cameras must integrate with our existing IP security camera video management system, and Presidio is the single source integrator for this work. Funding for the project will be from the 2016 School Building Basic Renewal Restoration and Safety Project, or the 2016 Bond Project. Work will be completed in phases and is anticipated to be substantially completed by July 30th, 2020. And Director of Facilities Darren Hess is still available to answer any questions. Do we have a motion and a second?
Move for approval.
Second.
Thanks, Glenna. Thanks, Maria. So just, I'm curious, do we have security cameras in those temporary classrooms that go in?
Correct.
Okay.
Currently, we have wiring going out to them, and we'll have security cameras through the hallway as well.
Hallway?
The connector.
Right, okay. And are those IP, or they have to fit with the old analog
Yeah,
system?
currently those will be analog. We're, through that phases, we have to Band-Aid the existing one till we start getting the IP camera system out on board. So it'll be a merge of the two. But right now, they currently will be analog to tie in.
And last meeting, didn't we approve some IP cameras for,
The last
More
board
so?
meeting, we approved the IP security system.
the system?
And the access control and intrusion detection.
Okay, okay, that
Previously,
was it.
we approved IP cameras at Southside and Wayne
Right.
earlier. They're being installed right now. So
Okay.
by the time those kids come back to school in the fall, we'll have new IP cameras there. And I believe Dottie gave me the number of, at the end of this project, we'll have 27 of our buildings on IP cameras, so a little more than half.
There you go.
Okay. And was that the same vendor we used previous for those cameras?
It is, yes.
Okay. I didn't recall the name Presidio, but,
They used to be called NETEC, and they changed their name.
oh, okay. 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 Any other questions? Okay. Thanks, Darren. Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, and now we have the School Technology Advancement Account application. It's recommended that the board approve the application for and receipt of advancement from the School Technology Advancement Account in the amount of $589,380 for the 18-19 school year. The School Technology Advancement Account provides funds annually for school systems to purchase computer technology for student instruction. Fort Wayne Community Schools uses these monies to fund learning and technology plans of our schools. This request of $589,380 is based on a guideline provided by the state of $500 for each 25 students. Funds are provided in the form of a loan with a very low interest rate. The last loan under this program had an interest rate of 1%. Funds would be budgeted in the debt service fund to repay this loan beginning in 2020. And questions can be addressed by Technology Coordinator Diana Fulton. Do we have a motion and a second?
So move.
Second.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Ann. Any questions? Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Aye. Okay, and last on our list, it's recommended that the board approve an agreement with Dreambox Learning to purchase a digital teaching and learning system for elementary mathematics totaling $590,400. Dreambox Learning will provide elementary math supports for students' growth in procedural math, problem solving, and conceptual application. This purchase will supplement current curriculum resources to identify and address gaps, to increase mastery of standards for all elementary school students in grades K through 5. Students will receive individualized instruction tailored to their current comprehension level. Teachers will access real-time assessment and progression data for each student showing progress and mastery level assigned to the state standards. Excuse me. The agreement includes ongoing professional learning for coaches and teachers. This is a 3-year contract commencing the fall of 2018 and continuing through the end of the 2021 school year. The contract amount will be paid in 3 annual installments with a first-year payment of $175,000 and a $207,700 payment for years 2 and 3. Dreambox is the sole source provider for this teaching and learning system. The cost of the agreement will be paid from the general fund. This initiative addresses Goal 1, achieve and maintain academic excellence. And questions can be answered by Jennifer Mabel, Director of Curriculum Assessment and Instruction. So do we have a motion and a second?
Move approval.
Second.
Thanks, Maria. Thanks, Tom. Any questions?
I have a question. Jennifer, the Dreambox is a intelligent adaptive learning system, is it not?
Yes, that's correct.
Is this the first time we're going to be using this type of curriculum in our schools, or have we been using it in the past?
This will be the first time at the elementary level, K-5.
Okay, and because I don't recall a board meeting or any workshops where they discuss the advantages of this type of curriculum with us. So that's why I'm just a little hesitant to be supportive of this.
So we have not done a presentation for you all, but we have sandbox accounts, just like we gave you for the Agile Mind, so you can go in and check it out. The benefits behind having this be adaptive is that when students go in and log in, for example, a 3rd grade student goes in and is working on multiplication. Depending upon how that student answers that question will determine what's the next level that child progresses to, whether it's continuing on that path or it stops and gives them a tutorial because they are missing something, and then they take it back down a layer and then they continue to keep building up.
So this is the computer itself sensing whether or not the child gave the correct answer, and then it goes into the if-then. If it gave the right answer, it can progress.
Correct.
So the child can progress. If it
Yes.
gets the wrong answer, then it gets retrained
Yes.
on that particular point, correct?
Yes, and that's on every layer that they do. So if they move from multiplication to division, it does the same type of skill.
And it might just be semantics, but really this is not a curriculum.
It is not. It's
Right.
a supplemental.
I mean, we follow the state, curriculum. So this is a supplement
Correct.
to assess and advance and point out gaps and, that for kids.
Correct. So our big idea is math, that our textbooks that we currently have will still be in use. And then this Dreambox will help supplement those skills and also accelerate students where they need to be accelerated, simply just the same as we did with Agile Mind for the secondary.
Now, the Agile Mind was something I did go back and look at on the computer. And I noticed that it is tied very heavily to Common Core state standards. That's really the basis upon which it is written. And so I was a little, and I also felt that it was a little clunky as far as taking a test to doing the problems, I guess. When you're doing the online testing or you don't really have to show any work, you just hopefully get the right answer or not. There's no real feedback from the computer at the time. I'm sure in the lessons, the individual personalized learning, it might give you a reward if you do the right thing and or send you back if you don't.
Yes, and that's what Dreambox does too. So there are some supplemental resources that teachers can print if they need to. Teachers can go in and assign specific skills. As teachers and students are starting to use this the software, it is going to be a learning curve for them because it's a new product. But that's why that PL is embedded into the cost of the contract so that they'll come out and train our teachers and our coaches. I have a Sandbox account for both my children. They've been on it this summer. There's a parent piece where parents can go in and pull up a family dashboard and see the progress that they're making. And we did that intentionally so that we could see what it was like from both my curriculum hat and a parent hat.
And then how
So
much? Okay.
No, go ahead.
And then how much of the emphasis is on the affective behavioral lessons as opposed to knowledge and academics?
So I think you'll see a good balance because it'll be embedded within our scope and sequence when we had that presentation and we showed how things are aligned in there. It'll be an even balance of we want to work on that conceptual piece and not just I'm getting something right, but I'm also growing my knowledge to be able to have a conceptual understanding of what multiplication really means, for example.
Now, you said Sandbox account, right? Okay, but we're talking about Dreambox.
Correct.
So what's the
Sandbox
difference?
account is for you to have a play area to go in and mess around with Dreambox just like you had for Agile Mind.
And you knew that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I played in it. I played in the Sandbox.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Okay.
So I
But
can
I
get
don't
that.
need to go to the Sandbox to use Agile Mind.
No, you can still use your separate account for that.
See?
And this will be a separate account too, and I'll get it to Janet and she can email it out to you.
Okay. So is there anything else in this Sandbox?
No, it'll just walk you through
It's just
how to-
Agile Mind?
Yep, it's just Dreambox.
I mean, Dreambox?
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha.
I did have a question. When I went into Agile Minds, it was a problem that was correlated with like a real world situation and stepped a student through sort of decisions that a business owner would have to make. Is Dreambox going to have those types of conceptual problems, or is it just more mastery of learning?
No, they'll have some conceptual pieces. And to go back, Glenna, you had asked about Common Core versus state standards. And so Dreambox is aligned to our Indiana state standards.
Okay.
Which, as we know, are not all that different.
Yeah, it's
from
splitting
Common
hairs
Core.
really between Common
Yeah.
Core and state standards. Yep.
And, you know, the state test is going to, in high school, you know, is probably going to become either the SAT and the ACT, and they are
Correct.
certainly aligned to Common Core.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's de facto.
Right.
curriculum. Right. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Jennifer.
Sure.
Okay, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay. So, passed 4-1. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our business meeting. We actually don't meet again since July is a lot of time off for a lot of, take advantage of that vacation time in early July for educators, particularly since a lot of them will be back to work July 9th, doing curriculum work.
Yes.
So we meet again July 23rd. Okay, and the only thing we have left are member comments, if anyone has anything.
I have one thing.
Okay?
Last Friday, we at Georgetown Square had the opportunity to open up a time capsule, which was a kind of a very fun community event. And lo and behold, one of the things that was in the time capsule was contributed by Adams Elementary School. And if you have your permission, I'd like to unfurl it.
Sure.
So that we could
Need
all
some help?
see it. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so what, just roll it out. Adams Elementary, 25 years ago,
Got it?
got the fingerprint and the names of all the students in their school at that time. So that, if 25 years ago, that means they're in the mid-30s. And who knows, maybe some of them are teachers within our school district or whatever. But it was to,
Cool.
Adams
Yes.
Elementary.
so there are the names and the fingerprints of all the students that were in the school, which is a lot of school students, as you can see. I didn't count them, but, and I don't even know who the administrator was or who the contact person was back in the day who had the foresight, to say, hey, that's a cool thing, let's contribute
And
something.
What did
But-
you say, this was 25 years
This
ago?
was 25 years ago,
was
they
buried?
buried the time capsule, and they
Cool.
just opened it as a 50-year celebration of Georgetown Square's
Nice.
existence. So anyhow, I would like to present it to someone at Adams Elementary someday. If
And you'll
if they
notice,
get back into school.
and you'll notice, it was printed on a dot matrix
Yes.
printer, which was
tell by the
high-tech
printing.
25 years
It was
ago.
laminated, so it
Yeah.
actually withstood 25 years underground. Not everything we buried withstood.
Remember those perforations on the, you had to
Yeah,
put the
so they
paper in
had,
there like that?
so it was printed off and
Preferred when you
probably
tore it off.
Yeah, yeah.
taped together and then,
Cool.
yeah, so. I don't know what they'll want to do with it, but I do want to pass it on to them. It was a fun event.
And didn't they do that at Headwaters Park too? Wasn't there a time capsule that was unearthed? Didn't I see that?
Recently?
Yeah.
I
Wasn't
don't
that
know.
recently?
That I don't know. I would have thought we would have heard about that.
Who knows?
That was just one of many, many items that were buried, but because it was related to our school system, I thought I'd bring it in.
Yeah, that's cool. Tom?
No, nothing tonight.
Okay. Maria?
No comment.
Okay. Ann?
No, I have nothing.
Kathy? No?
Thank you.
Now, you and I went, when was that you and I went to city council and you spoke about the business, personal property business tax?
A couple weeks ago.
Okay,
And
right.
Tom did too.
Right, and Tom was there, right, okay. So I just wanted to mention that, for those of you who are paying attention, the business personal property tax has, the possible repeal of it has come up again for some reason. And when we were there, Kathy spoke and Tom spoke, there were, what, about 8 people who spoke maybe? Everyone opposed to repealing it. It would affect Fort Wayne Community Schools to the tune of maybe, what, $8 to $10 million, something like that? So significant for us, and significant for other units of government too, so.
Yeah, I remember when I was on council the last time they came up, and I think, I don't know, the vote was probably 8-1 not to move that forward. I would guess that it's not going to be approved. It might even be withdrawn, who knows?
Yeah, yeah, never say never. So
I know.
be alert, be alert. And also, I wanted to mention something, and this came up, we had a work session earlier talking about legislative issues and what happened in the 2018 session and what we could be seeing for 2019. And this is a little newsletter we get. It's called Indiana Education Insight, and they highlight things that are going on in education in Indiana. And evidently, the people that put out this newsletter took it upon themselves to review the public audits that are posted on the State Board of Accounts website. You probably do that for fun, Kathy. But and the reason they did it is because one of the things that a bill passed this past, well, actually May, HB 1315 set up a fiscal indicator tracking system for public school districts, so they can try to avoid problems that they've had in, say, Gary and Muncie and elsewhere. And so what this group did is looked at all the charter schools, which are right now are exempt from this law. But they found several schools that are spending more money than they take in. And they said there are about 5 charter schools with financial issues so alarming that auditors expressed doubt about the ability of the schools to survive into the future. So that begs the question, shouldn't charter schools, once again, be judged by some of the same metrics and subject to the same metrics that public school districts are? And our Justin from Bose was talking about, there is a bill out there that will probably come up in 2019 that would subject charter schools to some financial oversight. So put that on your radar.
You bet.
Okay. Okay, everybody have a great 4th of July, well, I guess week, next week, since it falls in the middle of the week. And see everybody in about 4 weeks. I don't think we have anything, we don't have any work sessions or anything coming up in the next 4 weeks, so, okay.
We need a motion.
Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Everybody moves to adjourn, so thanks, Tom, thanks, Ann. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the microphone is open if anyone wishes to address the board.